Baton Rouge for you, kind of a
Yeah.
because you're going back with the team playing for a chance to go to Omaha.
Guys, this is such an incredible week for us, and can't even begin to tell everybody how proud I am of our team and what they did last weekend, and having to win 4 games in 2 days against outstanding competition. It speaks volumes for where our guys are at right now, and the resiliency of each and every player that we have, and just the heart that they take the field with each and every day. And these guys are so much fun to be around. They compete. Our practices have been outstanding for the last couple of weeks. I love where we are as a team right now. Every single day at the field is a blast being around these guys. They're ready to play, excited for the opportunity and challenge of going to LSU this weekend. And, you're going to play an outstanding LSU team with the opportunity to go to the College World Series. So let's go play, let's go get it on, and I like our chances.
When you talk to guys on the team, they can't say enough about Josh Lovelady. Doesn't have just crazy impressive numbers, but it seems like he's one of the most important pieces.
He has gotten some of our biggest hits that we've had this year. Game-winning hits, base hits up the middle, doubles down the line, and then obviously the other day he hits the home run to left field against Southern Miss in Game 1. He has been a tremendous leader for us all season long. Whatever his batting average is it's irrelevant. He has picked up huge hits for us. He gives us great at-bats. He can bunt. He can hit and run. And what he's doing behind the plate for us each and every day has been incredible. He handles a young pitching staff extremely well. He has grown so much in his leadership abilities this year, just in terms of knowing when to communicate with the catcher or with the pitcher, knowing what to say, how to get guys back on track. He really has been an extension of our coaching staff, catching each and every day for us. Can't speak highly enough about Josh and what he has brought to our team this year.
Starting pitching this weekend?
Yeah, we're going to have some starting pitching this weekend.
In theory.
Yes, so we will throw Connor Pilkington in Game 1 this weekend, and then from there it'll just be a TBA. And I think everybody that has followed our team knows who the pool of candidates are going to be. It will either be Denver McQuarrie, it would either be Jacob Billingsley. Cole Gordon is certainly going to get back out on the mound this weekend. It'll probably be one of those guys that are going to be taking the ball, and at some point, all of those guys are going to pitch this weekend. So I'm in no position, nor are we as a team right now to kind of say who's going to start Game 2, but I love our options. Obviously, Jacob Billingsley was incredible last week against Southern Miss, and his effort going 9 strong innings against that outstanding offensive Southern Mississippi team was the reason why we were able to piece Game 2 together. When you have a Jolly and a Price and a Self all ready to go in Game 2 the other night, all that happened because Billingsley goes 9 innings, and he was phenomenal. It was the greatest outing of his career in the biggest game he's ever pitched, and that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for players to perform at their highest ability on the biggest stage, and that's exactly what Billingsley did for us the other day.
I know it's not much easier playing LSU, but do you feel a little relief knowing that you're going to be playing for a potential 3-game series instead of maybe 4 or 5 games?
No doubt. I mean, I think where we are right now, just with the depth of our pitching staff, I mean, we're not necessarily built for that SEC tournament where you've got to win 4, 5, 6, 5 games to try to win the tournament. We were built more for a regional, and I think our pitching staff and our team is built more for a 3-game series than we are a regional. So I love where we are right now as a team in terms of what we're doing offensively, what we're doing defensively, and what we're doing on the mound. And we're standing here today playing baseball because we have defended it at an extremely high level all season. We're leading the SEC in fielding percentage right now at .981. What we have done this year defensively is a major reason why we've been able to keep this pitching staff going, because we have a goal each and every game to give the other team 27 outs. We're not interested in giving them more than 27 outs. When they hit it to you, pick it up and play good catch. Hit the guy in the chest. We're not looking and don't need the Sports Center web gem plays. Just when they hit it to you, pick it up and throw them out. When they hit it to you in the outfield, run it down. Hit the cutoff man. Play fundamentally sound defensive baseball, and our guys have done that. Like I said, we're leading the SEC in fielding percentage, and that all starts up the middle. Lovelady has been tremendous behind the plate. You've got Gridley at short. You've got Stovall at second and Mangum in center. That's as strong of a middle-of-the-field combination as there is in the country right now. That's why we're leading the SEC in fielding percentage.
I know in the moment you probably don't get to think about this just a whole lot, but just kind of when you step back and look at this from where you were in November ringing that cowbell for the first time, for this to come down to you versus LSU for Omaha, what's that like?
Listen, Mississippi State is a program that is one of the biggest and best programs in the country. And kids come to Mississippi State to compete for SEC titles, and they come to Mississippi State to get to Omaha and try to win its first national championship here. And here we are, two teams standing right now, LSU, Mississippi State, and it's going to be a heavyweight title fight. You know what I mean? Why not? If you got to get to Omaha, why not try to go through LSU? They're a program that's accustomed to going there. So is Mississippi State. So let's go play. Let the best team win too, and let's go see who's standing at the end of Sunday or Monday.
You mentioned in Hattiesburg a couple times Elijah McNamee getting some big hits
Sure.
for you throughout. Was Texas A&M kind of a turning point for him?
Yeah, I think so. I think going back home to Texas, he had a lot of family and friends in the stands, and just kind of simplified his approach at the plate. Kind of calmed down his leg kick. He's kind of calmed down his bat a little bit in terms of the waggle that he had. And he's picked up some really big hits for us. And I think the emergence of McNamee and Vansaw in our lineup have really helped us down the stretch. Both of those guys have picked up some really big hits, have scored some really big runs, and they're both playing extremely well in the outfield right now, which is a major reason why we're still standing.
The other night you mentioned that y'all are a different team since that LSU series.
Right.
How have you felt like this team's improved?
I think it's just a confidence thing. I think it's you're hosting LSU here the last weekend of the stadium with a chance to win the SEC, and you got in the ring with the middle of them, and you figured out after the end of the third day, wow, those guys are pretty dang good in the other dugout. And, we played two extremely close ball games with those guys a couple of weeks ago, but we didn't play the brand of baseball that we needed to for those 3 days to beat one of the very best teams in the country. And, I think I don't want to use it as like a learning experience, that type of thing, but I just think our guys realized, hey, if we're going to beat the other team in that dugout to get to Omaha or to try to win a national championship, that we have to raise our level of play. We have to be better executing on offense. We have to get our bunts down. We have to drive guys in when they're on third base and less than 2 outs. And we have an opportunity to turn a double play. You have to do that. You have to play your A game to beat the very best teams in the country. And I certainly feel like this weekend we played extremely well. Our guys are confident, ready to go, and they're looking forward to the challenge of going to play LSU again, and excited about how we feel like we're going to play better than we did 3 weeks ago.
You coached Kramer in his All-SEC season.
Sure.
Gridley just got All-SEC. It's obviously your position. How is your relationship and how you coach shortstops different from the rest of the roster?
Yeah, I played that position until I was 30 years old, and I'm always kind of drawn, maybe it's, magnetically to the shortstops, Listen, both of those guys are extreme competitors. There's so many similar characteristics in the two. They're extremely hard workers, and when you put them between the lines, they're going to do everything in their power to beat the other team. They raise their level of play in the biggest ball games. They're very similar players, but their minds work the same in terms of just the competitive part of, I'm not going to let the other team beat me, and I'm going to will my team to success and will my team to victory. That's the two characteristics that those guys have, and that's why they're both all-SEC performers. I love to work with those guys. I love working with Gridley each and every day. We're always working on different things, whether it's turning double plays, barehanding balls. We like to have fun playing that position. You're going to handle the baseball so much. You just want to become an expert at handling the ball and being able to direct the field.
As well as you've seen Gridley play this year, when you watch what he did at Hattiesburg, is that just raising his game to another level?
I think he's just, like we talked about earlier, he is a big-time player that has performed at his highest level on the biggest stage. And it's not a mistake that he has success in the big games. He works extremely hard, and he has an unbelievable amount of confidence in himself and in his own game. And he knows every single time he gets in the batter's box, in his mind, he thinks and knows that he's better than the pitcher out there. And then when he's on defense, he knows that in his mind, he's the best shortstop in the country. And it's just something that really drives him to have success. And I love having him on this team. He's a terrific leader for us, and he makes us go.
Red Rucker he's been crushing home runs for you all year.
Yeah,
30
sure.
doubles. But what did you think when he had that 2-run pop fly?
Man, it doesn't matter what it looks like, man. In the box score, it looks like a missile to right field where he stayed on a changeup, drove it the other way. It was the biggest hit of the season we've had so far, and certainly the biggest hit of his year, and the thing went about 115 feet down the right field line. So, guys, listen, man, you just grind and compete and fight and claw your way each and every day. And we've had so many things go our way, in the last couple of weeks and over the course of the season. But you don't get breaks by mistake. You get breaks because you put yourself in a position for something good to happen on the field. And we've practiced extremely hard. We're competitive each and every day we play. We have 25 come from behind wins this year. And you don't have that many wins if you're not standing there in a close ball game in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. So, yes, we have 25 come from behind victories, but at the same time, I love our fight, and we're in ball games all the way till the end. And we've had some guys that have picked up some really big hits for us this year.
Is it kind of odd to think that you're fixed to play a team that you helped recruit a lot of guys with a team that you didn't recruit much any of these guys?
Sure, it gets a little awkward sometimes, and listen, I want the best for all those players in that other dugout. Those guys are tremendous kids from tremendous families, and they're great workers and want to win. And I will always be there for those kids. They know that. But this weekend for 3 days, it's Hale State, maroon and white, and I'll catch up with those guys down the line sometime.
I know I've asked this before, but he's pitched so well with Peyton Plumlee. Are you guys still thinking about him as a starter at all this weekend?
You know what?
Or is he just too valuable in that relief
Yeah,
role?
he has been extremely valuable in that middle relief, long relief type of role. No, I'm not saying I wouldn't hesitate to hand him the ball if our staff and we feel like he's our best option against LSU this weekend. But we're certainly going to go into the weekend with Pilkington as our Friday guy or a Saturday guy right now, and then kind of go from there. And then if we're happen to play a game 3 and Plumlee hasn't pitched yet, and listen, I have zero problem sending Peyton Plumlee out to the mound right now. He continues to get better and better. His confidence is at an all-time high. And so whoever we put out there is going to be because we feel comfortable with those guys performing on a big stage, and those guys have done that all year for us.
I know he was the 4th arm that you actually went to, but
Right.
Billingsley's performance has to make it very tough not to give him that start.
Extremely, no, you're extremely right. And anytime you can hand the ball to a pitcher in a regional championship game, and he goes out there and gives you 9 innings like he did the other day, I mean, he's screaming for the opportunity to get the ball again, and certainly want to see how he's feeling today and just how his body's recovering and how his arm's feeling, and kind of go from there. But there's no doubt that JB is going to be on the mound this weekend in some really big situations for us, probably with the game on the line or the game starting, that kind of thing, but he's going to be out there and he's going to get his outs.
Talked with Coach Cohen yesterday, and he was praising your patience. He said you were a lot more patient man than he would have been in some of these situations this year, and he was praising your uplifting attitude and stuff like that. Have you found that a challenge this year to stay uplifted and keep these guys uplifted throughout all the ups and downs?
You know what? Not really. I always said if I ever got the opportunity to be a head coach, I was going to just do it the way I've always done things. And, I think my personality by nature is just kind of, relaxed and easygoing, and there's not a whole lot that gets me too over the top, fired up, or mad. I think sometimes that probably gets my wife Allison aggravated that I don't, more things don't get me fired up, whether it's around the house or out in public or whatever. But just in general, it's just kind of a laid back attitude, and I love creating an environment where guys love coming to play every day, giving them the freedom with their swing, giving them the freedom defensively. Because I really believe that if you're going to have the ultimate success as a player, you have to be comfortable in the batter's box. You have to be comfortable fielding ground balls. And I think the biggest thing I try to do is just work with what guys have and just try to put them in a position to have success. And have there been several times this year where I wanted to go ballistic on the mound or on the field? Yeah. But then just the other part of me is thinking, God, I want to go crazy on this first base umpire right now. But then, God, he's going to be behind the plate tomorrow. So the last thing I want to do is get this guy mad at me right now. So, I've gone out there several times, and I've had some really good conversation with guys, and where I wanted to go crazy, but I've just kept it really calm and let them know, hey man, from my perspective, you definitely missed the call right there. I'm not going to go crazy, but after the game, put the video on, watch it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see that I'm right. Listen, let's just lock in. This is a really big game right now. Both teams are fighting. Let's just sustain our concentration. Hey man, have a great day. I'll see you later. I'll see you behind the plate tomorrow. So just trying to keep the peace, man. Try not to make anybody too upset, because I know they're going to impact. They have a chance to impact the rest of the weekend.
Is any of that to the fact that you are a rookie head coach, and maybe with umpires, you may have to earn a little bit of that status? Maybe see some at major leagues.
Yeah,
too?
maybe that's a part of it. I'm certainly not trying to show up this first year, guns blazing. Just trying to call everybody out, that kind of thing. But I certainly think it's one of those things where you need to earn your keep in this league, and there are so many great head coaches in this league that have won national championships, that have won SEC titles, and have been coaching in this league for 15 or 20 years. And I'm motivated each and every day to try to put myself on that same level as those guys, and certainly not trying to run around with my head cut off, just screaming and yelling all the time. I want to do everything I can to help our team win as much as possible and to put our guys in a position to have success.